Right. As I failed to prepare for, we had some technical difficulty. Yeah, bit of a technical difficulty. My camera fell asleep, so seeing as I work in tech, this is not a very good look for me. But we move. It's all good. So I'm just well, it's sort of beanie weather. I've only really got the beanie on because my hair's getting long and it needs cutting. So I've got to do that soon as well. Just haven't had the time, you know. I haven't given myself the time. So how are we doing? How are we feeling? What's your highlight of this week? I've just seen your entry in the Discord server as well. Oh, is that the first time you've seen Fiddler on the Roof? Oh wow, that goes back some. When did I watch that? Because my uncle went to a Catholic school, Catholic upper school, and he played the part of the fiddler for the Christmas panto, as it were. And then after that, I watched the film with my great nan. So when the song breaks out, you remember that Gwen Stefani song where she goes, "If I were a rich girl," it just reminds me of the film every time. So 71. I don't think I wasn't even a thought then. 71. I'm gonna call out the year of the Dodge Charger. 71 Dodge Charger. Having one of those sitting on my driveway right now would be amazing. Kate and Leopold. I've heard of that. I just can't remember watching it. Wow. Wow. Now we've got a couple of people in now. Welcome, welcome. We're just talking about the highlights of our weeks this week. We'll get into the good stuff first. I was just saying that I don't think we're ever really talking about bad things. It's just the way you see it more than anything, isn't it? No, please don't spoil it. It's going to go on my list of things to watch. We've got the tea. We've got the TV, which I've got some weird frequency going on in the background there because I didn't want too much noise to distract and things like that. So I have no idea what it is, but the picture looks nice. Oh, Pulp Fiction. I can't. There's the line I want to repeat in that film. I'm probably not allowed to say on a live, so I'm going to leave it there. Royale with cheese. Love that film. Shawshank Redemption, another good one. Another good one. I often think about my friend Andy Dufresne. I wonder where he might be. Where are we at? I'm not sure if there's a new YouTube update for you iPhone guys, but I'm getting a lot of push notifications now for people that I've watched before releasing new videos. it's good, but it's a little bit annoying at the same time. Like, I've just had one come up from Rita Kaminsky. Now, I absolutely love her content. It's brilliant. She's firm but fair. Hey Willow, welcome. You're not late. No, nobody is ever late. We're just we're talking a bit randomly right now. But if you want to share with me your highlight of the week, you're more than welcome to do so. Talk to me about how you're feeling today. I think what we're going to do is sort of talk about emotional regulation today and see how we get on with that, more than sort of dive deep into what's going on in here and in here before we try and figure out what's going on out there. Oh, your phone's dying. Is it battery, or? You might want to get that on charge, Willow. Find that charger and get hydrated while you're at it. I mean, I can't really talk because I'm drinking tea right now, but I also have a cold drink here. This is Morello Cherry. Okay, well, if you do disappear randomly, I won't hold it against you. Don't worry. I forgive you. Ava, mental diet. I think I'm going to join you on that one. I think it's more the content I've been consuming, as it were. So yeah, it's just being a bit more mindful of that. Leaf water. We love a bit of leaf water. Let's see if so I'm just telling everybody that I previously shared the previous live link to that there was a bit of a tech glitch. So, mental diet. I'm interested to know what that means for you guys and how you've been, what's the word, regulating that recently as well. It's always an interesting topic for me, because no matter how much I think that my mental diet is going great, I always find that there's a lesson somewhere to go. You might need to look a bit more into this, and it's a wonderful thing, because you know it's like driving a car, for example. Like, I'm very critical when I drive. So no matter how short the journey, I could take a 10-minute journey driving up the road, and before I know it, I've gone. I probably could have done that a little bit earlier, done that a little bit later, or done that a little bit better. Like, I don't know, kept more distance away from the car in front of me, or give myself a little bit more time. It's good to be not overly critical, because if you're critical of yourself all the time, you will always be critical of yourself. And you've got to be patient and graceful with yourself at the same time. But it's always good to always handy to analyze the way you might be doing things. And if you can learn from somebody else that's doing almost the same, if not better, then that's how you get further. I mean, yes, that's quite right, Ava. But you've got to criticize yourself in a healthy way. I see some people in my life who analyze something that they've said or done and gone, that was bad. Okay, so how was it bad? And, you know, what could you have done better? What did you learn? And it's, you know, it's kind of a conversation stopper, as it were, because, you know, how did you find that you did with this particular task? Oh, bad. Good chat. Mental junk food. I like that, Willow. I'm going to use that. I'm told often that I worry too much and I think too much. There are thoughts that you can't stop. I can't remember who it was that said, but there was a mention of the average human being having around 67,000 thoughts per day. I'm pretty sure that is more than breaths you take in the space of a day. Doom scrolling, exactly that. I'll admit, at times, bad habit. But it's not just about the fact that you're sitting there doing that the whole time. It's also the kind of content that you're consuming. You know, what are you looking into? What are you watching? What are you even searching on Google, for example? That can have that can take a grip on things. In my case, it's more that I overthink with my interactions with people, and if I'm being too much. Too much for you might be a different too much for somebody else. If you're too much for yourself, then maybe slow it down. It's like you climbing a mountain. Others will only have the ability to pull you down. So if you're being too much for them, usually means that you're higher up the mountain than they are. So just keep climbing. Just keep climbing. If you're not too much for yourself, you will never be too much for anybody else. My tea is now finished. Sad time. The goal isn't to stop the thoughts, it is not to dwell in them and relate to them mindfully. It's like Neville himself. I'm pretty sure I'm paraphrasing here, but he did say, don't dwell in the state that you do not wish to be in. More observe what you're seeing and thinking, and find the feeling that you wish to recreate when everything comes into fruition. Yes, I know I'm diving a bit into the into the whole manifestation thing here when I said about emotional regulation, but it kind of ties a little bit in as well, because if you let your emotions lead you, that's, in my mind, how you lose control. When your emotion comes out from things that go on up here and then translate into your heart as well. I like to think of it like a chamber kind of thing. So imagine you're filling a jug on the top shelf with water, and it's got a little line that goes down to a jug on the bottom shelf. Also, you fill it with water. So you started filling the top one, and it's pouring into the second one, and then when the second one overflows, it goes into another tube, and then just falls out onto the ground somewhere. It's kind of what happens there. So when the two are matching up, it then all comes out. So it's like my analogy for riding motorbikes, which a lot of you know, you probably see on the photos back there, that I do quite a lot. You've got two bags. You've got a bag full of luck with a tiny hole in the bottom, and you've got an empty bag in another hand which you fill with experience. I've always said the idea is to fill your experience before your luck runs out. Ava, thank you. I'll see you soon. So yeah, mental junk food. I like that. That's a good phrase. Good phrase. And I think also with mental junk food it can be anywhere. Sorry, there was a marketing company that said in order for you to take action upon something, you need to have seen it about 16 times, which is why when you see adverts like billboards, I'm not sure if you have like advertisements on petrol pumps. That's literally the marketing strategy. You know, you see something 16 times, and you see a phone number, say for a building company, and then eventually you go, oh, I could do with some work on my house. You know, Willow, plans for the channel. I want to see how far it goes. A lot of it is trial and error at the moment. I'm creating more content. I'm trying to find. Sorry, not trying. I'm looking for the most consistent time for me to be uploading. It's been a bit few and far between at the moment because the past couple of months have been busy for me. I want to go forward with the lives as well. And then see how far I can get it. You know, it doesn't really cost me anything to do this apart from time, maybe a bit of energy. It's no stress to me, but it's something I've wanted to do for a while, and I guess I've never found the right sort of subject for it, as it were. So I think what I wanted to do is not completely come away from the whole manifestation game because it still ties in. I mean, we're all doing it on a daily basis anyway. I think more I'm trying to steer people into realizing that they've got more control over what's going on in their lives than they actually do, than they actually think. And that's something I'm not seeing very often right now. And I think it's more sort of being intelligent with ourselves, as it were. So I want to see how far I can get this. Mainly because a big part of me, I think, sometime around last year was going, oh, you won't get far. You won't get far. And I suppose I found the right time. we ultimately do have more control. We can't control others, but we have more control over our environments and ourselves than we'd be led to believe. Yeah, I don't think we have control over others in terms of their actions. The best we can do is to influence them. Thank you, Willow. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think the most we can do is influence them. Shout out to Sean for this one when he mentioned free will in one of his lives as well. There are many theories on what free will actually is. There are some that argue that it does, and some that argue that it doesn't exist. Personally, I find it's a construct based on previous experiences. So, for example, if you've previously burnt your fingers on the iron, you're not going to touch the iron again, are you? So I think that's where that kind of free will comes into play. But at the same time, I think you can heavily influence people based on what's going on up there, because you're then getting into alignment. And it's going to create that kind of energy field which will pull that in. So, for example, let's go down the age-old route of SPs. It will get to a point. I mean, you see so many success stories. So it's literally down to enlightenment, and yeah, enlightenment probably is the thing, but it's down to alignment. You're so aligned consistently with that end goal that there is a direct tunnel between you and that person. And it's like, okay, so there's nothing here stopping me from going down there. There's no reason why I shouldn't go down there. Why don't I just go down there? And then that's kind of how it happens. It happens the same with every single thing that you look to, because I mean, my biggest success story this year is actually my new job. I had a couple of circumstances happen at the end of last year with my old job. So I said to myself, I didn't really take into account anything that was going on. I said to myself, I want to be in a place with better culture and where it where it doesn't feel like that everybody's miserable every day, because I was in an environment which didn't feel right for me. I'd actually been in this environment once before as well, and I found my way back to it, albeit in a different type of job. And it was good at first. It was, and then you got to learn it, and it got stale. So yeah, beginning of the year, I said to myself, I want a job with better culture. If it's the same money, great. If it's more, even better. But I would like it also to be closer to home. I'm now in a job over the last 3 months that's a 5-minute drive from my house. The people are better, they're more accommodating, and it's a better job all round. So you've just got to trust yourself, as it were, as well. So, but like you say, it's not trying to control somebody else or something else. It's controlling yourself to a point where you have literally zero resistance, or as little resistance as possible, to that thing that you're trying to experience. And when it happens, not if, when, it'll all be worth it. So I do realise this is a spur of the moment live, like I said before. So we'll see how it goes. We'll give it another half hour and see how we go. I think I'll schedule another one to give people more notice and things as well. So if they want to make it, it's great. If not, it's fine. Sorry, my Instagram's going nuts as well. I've got people sending me messages left, right, and centre, going, what are you doing next week? I'm more worried about now. I want to know your thoughts on creating an Instagram channel, Instagram page for this channel as well. I love that quote. Is that American McGee's Alice? Was it American McGee that did Alice? Or I know there was an Alice in Resident Evil, wasn't there? Yeah, I mean, I've known so many different video games with people with the same names in them. I mean, I've been gaming since 1995, and I'm kind of showing my age now. I think my favorite quote, more recent quote, is I was playing Mafia 3, and there was a priest called Father James who took in the protagonist when he was a young kid. He was orphaned, and one of the things he said to him is, "You went looking for evil, and sure enough, you found it." So if that to me says, if you're looking for something, you will find it, be it a positive or a conceivably negative experience. Scroll up a bit just in case I've missed anything. Absolutely. I'm gonna take a quote from my friend when it comes to relationships. She said to me once that every time I get into a relationship, I get abandoned. You got to choose your words carefully as well. That's the magic. The magic's in the wording. As quoted by Scoville Shin, you speak your experiences into reality. Mind the words you speak. And again, if you're telling everybody, oh, I just get left, surely enough, that is a reality you're going to experience. And if you're not wise enough to realize what's happened, you're going to be going, why does everybody leave me? It's like, oh, everybody always leaves me. Why does everybody leave? Because you've literally just said that everybody just leaves you. So I hate to sound like that person, but I think it was one of the most valuable lessons I learned. You know, if you don't have anything positive to say, then shut the hell up. You know. And I learned that from my own mum. From my own mum. If you got no decent to say, don't say out. Yep, absolutely. See, even Disney movies, you can learn something from. It's just the way you see the quote. I think since a lot of people have embarked upon this journey, as it were, they're taking a lot of basic quotes in a very different way, and for me, they're little pieces of life advice rather than just something someone says, and it'll either resonate with you or it won't. It's interesting, and I think now I look back on all these quotes. It's like the one I shared from Doctor Strange. I love that film where I can't remember her name, but she basically says, you can't beat a river into submission. Eating greens is a special treat. It makes long ears and great big feet. I think that one's a little bit different, but if you want to roll with it, you roll with it. You do you. Yes, Tilda Swinton's character. Tilda Swinton's character. You can't beat a river into submission. You can only surrender to the current, and use its power as your own. I think that's how it went. Hey, if eating greens makes really long ears, I probably would be a rabbit because I I used to eat greens like you wouldn't believe. I wasn't a beans or peas kid like common British kids over here. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, I wanna eat some beans. I was just like, I don't like them. I was always cauliflower and broccoli. I was the strange kid that ate cauliflower and broccoli all the time. I think it made me sort of more quietly intelligent. I was never the smartest kid in the class, but I was more. I was wise. I was always told. He says he's not smart, but he's wise. Yeah, that's what my teachers always used to say. He's not a smart kid, but he's wise. He stays out of trouble as quick as he gets into it. I love just. I like fruit and veg. I think the way it goes for me is it's not whether or not I'm in the mood for it. It's whether I actually make the effort to actually pick it up and eat it. And that being said, is it's something I need to put more effort into. I mean, I'll quite happily eat a bell pepper all day, every day. I like the different colours and things. Carrots, I could eat carrots raw all the time. Fruits, I need to explore a bit more. I think it's a good time for me to explore a bit more fruit wise, because I eat apples, pears, bananas. Um, I get annoyed with oranges because of the peel, um, and strawberries and a lot of berries here are more of a summer thing. So the shops tend not to have them throughout the year, which is quite strange. Just have a quick flick on the Discord. I think everyone's still asleep. It's too early on a Sunday. That's also true. I try and stay organic where possible. Um, Although I've been toying with the idea of growing a fruit tree. Not a bad idea. It's given me an idea. Um, but I know my dad has fruit trees and things as well, so I don't steal them from him. That's cool. Yeah, I'm just quite happy cutting it here for a little bit. Like I say, it was first live and it's spare of the moment, and it's one of those, you know. See how we get on, and right. So my next action would be to make an Instagram page. I have no idea what I'm going to put on it, but we move. And then we'll just carry on with the YouTube channel. I did have an idea for another episode, but it's gone. It'll come back to me later, and then we'll go from there. But I think emotional regulation, somewhere along those lines. Um, there was there's a Shaolin headmaster actually, who I follow on Instagram, called Shi Hong Yi. He has a method called RAIN, which means recognize. So recognize the feelings that come up, be it sadness, anger, jealousy, etc. Um, Accept, so that's the A, or acknowledge. Accept or acknowledge. We kind of mentioned both. So it's a case of acknowledging how you're feeling, acknowledging that you're sad, accepting that you're that you're jealous, accepting that you're angry for whatever reason. Investigate, which is I, where you investigate why you're feeling that way, what you've looked at, which has automatically got you to react in feeling such a way. So, for example, I have seen I've seen a person that I've previously not gotten on well with become successful. So that's made me feel jealous, and that's kind of emotion you give to yourself. And the N would be non-identification, which is I think that's a Buddhist term. So accept it, acknowledge it, investigate why, recognize it, just don't identify with it. Don't identify as the jealous person, the green-eyed monster. Um, that's that's a way I look to for emotional regulation, and there's a couple of people that I've mentioned it to as well, and they said it's also worked for them, which is always good. So I've done episode of mind detoxing. That was episode 4, I think it was. Um, so I just got to think of something else, and then we'll start making another one. I'll try and make them longer than 10 minutes this time. Right. I think I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you for joining, and I shall schedule another one with more notice. Have a good Sunday.